In the bustling city of Eldoria, where glass skyscrapers kissed the sky and the streets were always alive, a young man named Ethan concealed a dangerous secret. On the surface, Ethan appeared like any other citizen, working as a librarian by day, blending into the quiet hum of his neighborhood. But when the city fell into the shadow of night, Ethan's true nature was revealed. Ethan carried within him the power of Ixion, a formidable demon of legend, whose essence had been inadvertently bound to him during a mysterious encounter in his childhood. Despite the fearsome origins of Ixion, Ethan chose to wield this dark power for good. Harnessing the demon's abilities, he transformed into an enigmatic vigilante known only to the people as the Shade of Justice. It wasn't long before tales of the Shade spread throughout Eldoria. Whenever cries of despair echoed in forgotten alleys or corruption seeped through the veins of power, the Shade would appear. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and shadows swirled around him, creating an aura of fear only to those who truly deserved it. For the oppressed and vulnerable, he was a beacon of hope, a guardian angel who understood their plight. One evening, under the cloak of dense fog, Ethan received a plea for help from a small, impoverished community on the outskirts of the city. Ruthless developers backed by a corrupt official plotted to demolish their homes, leaving hundreds destitute. Desperate, the community knew they had no legal recourse, as the scales of justice leaned heavily towards the wealthiest bidders. Ethan knew he had to intervene. As the Shade of Justice, he slipped into the night, following the trails of deceit left by the corrupt official. Empowered by Ixion, he could see through the lies that were spun, uncovering evidence of bribery and illegal contracts. With this information, he constructed an impenetrable case and leveraged the full might of his powers to bring the truth to light. By the time dawn broke over Eldoria, the news swept the city. The corrupt official had been dethroned, his empire collapsing like a house of cards. The community, once teetering on the brink of ruin, was safe, their future secured. Ethan stood beneath the fading stars, the weight of his dual existence, both a burden and a gift. He knew the battle against evil was far from over, yet a piece of him longed for a day when Eldoria would no longer need the Shade of Justice. Until then, he remained vigilant, ready to unleash the demonic power for the greater good, forever committed to standing as a shield for those in need.